I think that estate planning should be seen as an act of love for
Yes.
the people in
Yep.
your life and also the charities in your life.
Hi, everyone. You're watching the Light of Care podcast on YouTube or listening or watching us on Spotify. This podcast is about our company, FirstLight Home Care of San Francisco and the Peninsula. Our goal is to provide comfort, company, and respite care to elders in need. This podcast aims to educate seniors and their families about the resources and support available to help them live well and age with confidence. I'm your host, Lynn Carteris, and today we're joined by John C. Martin, an attorney at law and certified specialist in estate planning, trust, and probate law by the State Bar of California's Board of Legal Specialization. From creating living trusts to designing wealth transfer strategies, protecting minor and adult beneficiaries, and preparing families for possible incapacity, he advises individuals, business owners, and charities throughout the San Francisco Bay Area and Silicon Valley. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
And we're just going to get right into it.
Let's do it.
We want to find everything out about you.
Oh.
So can you tell us about your background and what sparked your interest in becoming an estate planner?
When I went off to undergrad, I didn't know I was going to go to law school, but then that ended up happening. I thought maybe I'd use it to do something internationally, maybe join the foreign service. Always loved foreign languages. And when I went to law school, I ended up summering, so my summer associate gig in Paris. And it was great working in this great, wonderful law firm and doing international arbitration, so lots of different languages. And then I don't know if you remember a little event that happened in 2008.
Yes, I was in real estate. I
the
definitely
economy.
remember, yes.
Yeah, you remember. So my plans changed really quickly. No big firms were hiring anyone, including that firm that I was had summered at. And suddenly I'm thinking, okay, I'm taking a long road trip, thinking about what my next plan will be. I was engaged to be married, taking the California bar exam, but no firm gig. And my aunt sat me down and said, John, you should go into estate planning. This is the area of law for you.
Isn't that funny how
Yeah.
life just does a spin, especially somebody obviously you respected giving you that advice. That's awesome. In today's world, families look very different. Blended households, high-risk professionals, tech employees, unmarried partners. How has estate planning evolved to protect those modern family structures?
Well, you listed a lot of different situations, and in some ways, estate planning adjusts and adapts, but with the reality that the rules are actually very consistent. They really haven't changed a lot. There has been a change in allowing for marriage between same-sex couples, partners, for recognizing domestic partnership as the same as marriage in California. Different tax implications accompany that. But in terms of hard and fast definitions in the probate code, in terms of a lot of the tax issues with unmarried partners, we have the same issues now that we did 50 years ago, So very important to plan.
Share a real life story
Okay.
where planning or failing to plan made a significant difference.
I remember sitting down with this gentleman whose uncle passed away and said, John, it's a $15 million estate. And I have a trust. It looks like my uncle must have worked with one of the online retailers. And so think, maybe the NOLO or the online. The thing is that the document I have is just the printout. It's not signed. So I think he did sign this trust. It says, on the software program, you have to work with an attorney at the end, right, to make sure your questions. So maybe an attorney saw him do it. Maybe there's a notary record. He does have this other backup document that would have been his will, but unfortunately, it's been changed so many times. So it was just this Word document he drew up himself, and then he had all of these little notes in the ledger where he changed it, initialed it, signed it. So basically, we had this multiple layer problem we had to untangle. Was there a trust? We never found a trust.
What's one surprising issue families overlook in estate planning?
Right now, and this happens with a lot of people who've held their property in California for a long time, right? Basis step up issues with joint tenancy versus community property. Maybe you've seen this in your...
Well, I've seen it, but
Yeah.
do people even really understand this?
Yeah, they don't know necessarily what it means, but imagine this. Your spouse just passed away, right? You're mourning, and now you're like, I need to downsize. I'm going to sell the home. And imagine paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax because, the prices of real estate have gone up.
Significant.
But had you just changed this title from joint tenancy to community property, now when you're downsizing, you're paying zero tax. And this is people all across the wealth spectrum, right, who own a house. So seemingly very small thing, a missed issue with so many people. And in fact, I even see some attorneys miss the issue too.
Many parents worry about their children inheriting too much too soon. I'm sure you see that a lot around here. What tools help protect minor and even adult beneficiaries from mismanaging their inheritance?
With parents, custodial accounts, trusts, and custodial accounts are a way to simply, without a lot of expense, create some kind of gifting account where during life you can delay the access by the minor until age 21.
Done that, yeah.
Yeah, and then at death you can actually delay it to 25. Now that's going to not be appropriate for every asset.
Right.
So if we want to go with larger gifts, maybe real estate, or you want to go beyond age 25, having a trust that you gift into now or at the time of your death is a great option because you can have very flexible provisions.
How do you encourage clients to communicate their wishes without causing tension?
So I think we need to ask real practical questions. What are your kids like? What's their maturity level? How's their marriage? Strategically bringing them in at points to have a conversation that might not be about the size of the estate. It might just be about where the documents are being kept, who to call in the event of an emergency.
What decisions should families make now to prevent crisis and conflict later?
Incapacity planning is coming up with a plan for what would happen if you lost the ability to manage your personal or financial affairs for any reason. And there's going to be legal documents that would be involved in that. Power of attorney, healthcare directive, HIPAA authorization. That last document often overlooked. It's like a gatekeeper document in the sense that let's say you become incapacitated. How do your doctors get that letter to your loved ones who are going to now start making decisions for you? They need to have a HIPAA waiver because this is your protected healthcare information. Without that, they actually legally can't potentially release that information to your trustee in your trust.
So you also handle estate and trust litigation.
Yes.
What are the most common reasons families end up in court, and how can proper planning prevent those disputes?
So that can be prevented by having really good communication beforehand, by having really well thought out documents, by having a lot of transparency, by bringing kids in where it's appropriate. That doesn't mean they're part of every conversation with the attorney,
Right.
but it does mean that there's going to be, especially at the end of life, a lot of good communication that's consistent as between all of the children so that they all know where their parent is regarding tangibles, especially, because that's where we see a lot of these disputes start. And then it becomes something else. It becomes a question of fiduciary duty or accountings or disclosure. But actually, it usually starts with this emotional inability to communicate over stuff.
Yeah.
So if we can solve that, I actually think we could prevent a lot of the more the really expensive lawsuits where they're arguing over the real estate.
So for people who are listening who may feel overwhelmed or unsure where to begin, what's the simplest first step they can take today to start their estate planning journey?
I think reach out to an estate planning attorney
Yeah.
and start there. Research that. Find somebody you're really comfortable with. Ask trusted professionals, right? Ask somebody like you who's in the senior care industry. Ask your CPA. Ask another attorney that you've worked with. Who in your community is well known, is certified as a board certified specialist in estate planning. That means that they've done extra education, spent a minimum amount of time. They've had a level of certification from other members of the bar or judges that say, yes, this person has this expertise in estate planning. So this is not somebody who's a fly-by-night attorney. This is somebody, or a big trust mill where you go to a seminar and they don't even ask you about your risk tolerance or about these questions that were so important that we were talking about, right? So do that research, find somebody you really trust, and then get an estate plan done.
Will you please tell everybody how to get a hold of you?
You can reach us by calling 650-329-9500 during business hours. You can also reach us at our website, www.johncmartinlaw.com. That's John with an H.
We've got more interviews on the way. For now, thank you for all of my team for putting this podcast together. For more information, check out our website at thepeninsula.firstlighthomecare.com and follow us on our social media pages. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.